A run for Tony Pollard, the Memphis product. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
On second and 11 now. Brady into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Alec Ogletree. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. Not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
Now the third leading rusher in the NFL last year, Todd Gurley. Tried to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10.
It's our time. It's our time.
Hey, foxtrot. Clear.
They run out of the shotgun with Gurley. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
No room to be had there on the first down run as he's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Second and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, second and 10. Now to the air, block. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
So after the INT, it's Brady. They'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
First down, Chicago.
That time a slant, Brady in general on those quick hitters, he just releases the ball so fast.
He does, and he's so accurate, but most of the time, he wins before the ball's even snapped by his pre-snap read. Finds out where the defense is and delivers it to the proper place.
They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Credit the tackle to Brandon Mebane.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hey, orbit. Sugar.
Throwing on second and 8. Brady. Over the middle. Hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions 16.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
A first trip to the red zone for the Bears. They come up first and 10 at the 16.
Switch it. Come on, switch it. Go Bandit. Hey, Delta.
Brady hits his target, the tight end, Will Tye. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Wait, that wide, 80.
Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D. Check. Wide, get wide.
Hey, 50.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
From the 2 now, second and goal.
Check safety. You go tight. You got tight right there. Slant.
Malcolm.
52. Undercross. Wait for the edge.
On second down, it's Pollard. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Tony Pollard with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. And after the touchdown, here's Bryant now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards, as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
The last run good for 2. Here's second and 8.
Whip. Watch the whip.
61, matchbox lights. Get it.
On second down, here's Locke. And finding the tight end, Hooper. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Block now to throw. And that's going to be knocked away and incomplete. And with it, time has expired on the first quarter. Second quarter action now from Detroit, and it's the homestanding Lions who have the football. But likely not for long, as they're in punt formation to kick it away. On fourth down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here.
The Bears take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
On first and 10, here's Brady. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And they're able to get this one across the 35. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
First down.
So from the 36 now, first and 10.
Watch the run.
Check 26, check 26. Set.
Kill.
Now a shotgun handoff to Pollard. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Slam. Check.
Go 50. Goose. Ozzy.
First down, and it's Pollard again. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Get the ball. Shit. Watch the
Shadow.
On second down, Pollard. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory.
Hey, watch the ship.
On third down, it's Pollard. And to the 49-yard line, but no further. And obviously, he is well short of the first. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves him with a fourth down now. Here comes the Bears punter now. Back deep, Travis Benjamin. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And after the punt, they have a long way to go if they want to tie this football game.
And when you say a long way to go, you mean the full 99 yards backed up almost as far as you can be. And they also have to be aware that the defense is going to come after them. A lot of defense will blitz and attack in this situation, hoping to cause a little bit of havoc.
Now they have a little more space to maneuver from the 15, 1st and 10. Clock now on first down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Gurley now out of the gun. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Lock gonna throw. It's caught by Treadwell. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. A gain of 22.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
A couple of first downs have them to the 40 now on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Locke. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Levante David, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down.
Ready, go.
Now a draw play for Gurley. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. On third and long, it's Locke. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
At the 47-yard line.
Wait, that down 80. Down 80.
Feeling pretty quiet. Watch the safety creep. Kill. Hatchet. Jumper. Rush in.
They'll run on first down. Pollard. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Second and 10 at the Lions' 47-yard line.
2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Kyle Fuller, the one to make the tackle.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well.
What we got? Check.
Throwing is Brady on third down. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Good contain. No gain on the screen, and it'll bring up fourth down. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And with still more than a minute to go in the half, time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough.
And that's caught inside the 30. A big play there for Detroit. 52 yards. Sometimes the one-handed catches are unnecessary, but he was trying to ward off the defender with the other, so maybe that was just a good play.
So that tells you that not only do they imagine those types of catches, they actually work on them with defenders jostling them in order to keep their concentration and haul it in.
Here's Locke. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around to make a play on the football.
A chance now to get even before the break. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Todd Gurley, his 11th touchdown of the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half.
After nearly 30 minutes of football, that touchdown puts us in a position where if they make the extra point, we're right back to even before we start the second half.
McManus's point after is good, and that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. You're under 30 seconds to go. Field position not great. Time to call it a half, wouldn't you say?
Well, you know we all have that little extra gene that says let's push the envelope a little bit, right? What needs to be going through the play caller's mind right now, a potential fumbled snap that can get returned, a strip sack that can get returned, right? Any of those types of plays, that should be a deterrent to calling something that could get you in big trouble.
He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Eric Reed. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Now Locke. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. The Defensive Player of the Year, Aaron Donald. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. So a touchdown apiece. That's what we have to show at halftime as they head to the locker room. 7-7 our score. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Set and ready to go for the second half. One touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Wait, that line 20.
Right here.
Shoot. 20.
Here's Pollard again. 8 yards on the run, and that cuts us down to a 3rd and about 5.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Wait, that line 80. Go!
52, Mike, 52. And I'm coming after you.
Recon, 132 fighter. Check.
Back five.
No, 66.
On 3rd down, Pollard. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. They get the first. The decision to run on 3rd and medium winds up being a good one.
First down, Bears.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Watch the slant. He's coming.
We got double up.
Switch.
Undertake, 166.
Here's Pollard. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
I hope you brought your left, because I'm about to take you through. Switch. Tight dog. Check 43. Hey, watch this.
On second down now. Pollard, he'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
So now at 3rd and 7, and defensively, it's a dime look. 6 DBs.
Hey, Steve 6.
Mike 50.
Hey, 66.
Working from the gun, it's Brady. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. How about 25 yards on 3rd down? They'll take it.
I've got to make sure that I don't take Tom Brady's greatness for granted, that we make it routine. How about that throw right there?
Yeah.
Another great completion.
And you know one area where he honed his throwing? He was a catcher in high school. He was actually drafted by the Expos in 1995 in the 18th round.
Wow, that would have been something to see him behind the dish.
Think he gunned down a few guys?
Gunned down a few guys trying to steal second. That would have been fun to watch.
They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
50, Mike 50. Go, tackle, let's go. Rip. Check. Crunch. Flare.
Check it, reload.
Gonna run again here with Pollard. Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured bear on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive.
Tighten up. Pull it together.
Two jet bombers. Check it. Alert. Bravo. Regular.
Play action. Now it's Brady. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Watch out. Shut. Regular.
72.
They'll run it here. This is James White. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. The linebacker, Ryan Shazier, there to make the tackle.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Check three.
72.
Now Brady. This is White on the screen. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. A field goal would get him the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down. They'll run with Pollard. And the tackle made at the 13. He is well short of the first. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The kick by Bryant is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, You don't force any mistakes. You don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They trail offense first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for third down.
Watch the screen! Watch the screen!
To throw in his lock. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, you're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that.
Toe bashed it.
Super toe.
You never win! You never win! Let's go, baby! Watch this!
Run for Pollard. And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter play.
Wait, 20! Check back. Regular! 50's the money! 50's the money! Hey, let go! Hey, don't look up. Hey, we got Mike 50. Hey!
Looking to throw on second down. Brady. He'll get this one to his tight end. That's Jason Kroon. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Hey, Alabama. Check.
Now Pollard. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Wait, that's wide, 80! You ain't doing nothing today. Show it up. That's the
They'll keep it on the ground. Pollard. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation.
They don't want it, fellas. They don't want it. Keep playing hard, fellas, all day. Woo! Let's get it. Wait, 20. Hey, check. Like 50. Sugar. Hey, wahoo. Don't get nervous. Check, nickel. 53 center.
On play action, it's Brady. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. A critical error there in a tight game of the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
On the set. Pilot, 64, weak. Here we go. Go.
Here's Locke back near his goal line. He's going to dump it off to Gurley. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll bring up what looks to be a third and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
Here we go. 70, Indy. Shit. 80 weapons.
A big spot now for the rookie Locke. Now it's Gurley. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
Well, very good return that time. 18 yards, and the Bears take over.
First and 10 at their own 47-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
High 7. Alert. He's checking crowd. 25. Rim.
Throwing on second down. Brady. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 22 yards there, a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. On first down, Pollard looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Derek Wolfe there on the tackle. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Check 31. Switch it. Come on, switch it. 450.
They'll keep it on the ground. Pollard, and he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining. here in this fourth quarter. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
Check. Wide. Get wide.
Now a give here to Pollard. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. He hit his first. Now this one from 48 yards away. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Maybe an important fourth quarter miss as this stays a 3-point game.
Yeah, now overtime is very much in the equation here. Just what you mentioned, a 3-point game. They get a drive, put it through the posts. We could have some free football, couldn't we?
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Ready.
And this will probably be the final play before the 2-minute warning.
Hey, we got to see it.
On first down, Locke. Well, it's a shuffle pass, and it's complete. Less than 2 to play with just a field goal separating these two sides. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll look to throw. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Moore. 27 yards there, a first down. He's been quiet all afternoon. He may have just come up with a play of the day right there, though.
Obviously, it's not the volume in which you get done. It's the quality, and that was a quality catch right there.
Locke now, 10 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10.
Give me that ball, defense. Check safety.
Get it.
They run. It's Gurley. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
2nd and 10 at the Bears' 11-yard line.
Ready.
53's mine. Check. 53's mine.
We ain't giving up nothing today.
You go tight. You got
General West.
You got tight.
Again they run with Gurley. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
On the ready.
58, come on. Here we go.
Here we go.
Lock to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This to potentially send us to overtime. And McManus able to put it through. And that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. So in the final minute, they turn it over to their kicker to get him back to even, and he does not disappoint.
Brandon, do you think the pressure ever gets to this guy? Because I sure don't. That was pretty smooth right there. But I tell you, he better not rest on his laurels because there's a good chance they may need him again if this game goes to overtime.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. A tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk-reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
And it's been loud in here so far. The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And they work this well and get a nice hook up right away.
Tells you a lot about what a coach feels about his team, doesn't it? That type of a play in overtime, so many people in this situation play not to lose.
They'll run on first down. Pollard, he'll get 3 up to midfield.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Mike's 50. Mike's 50. You must be getting tired of seeing me. Mike's shadow.
From midfield, here's Brady. And he rifles one incomplete. Jonnu Smith, the tight end, is intended receiver. And it'll bring up third down. So third down coming up. And, Charles, I guess the question for me, where does 4 down territory begin possibly?
I guess for me it begins if you have